Hi horrors, welcome back to another video. Oh my god, literally recorded a video yesterday. Now I'm recording another one. If you didn't see my last video, please go back to my last video because it's kind of like my intro back into YouTube, and it's kind of telling why I am doing YouTube again and why I stopped. Because I don't really need to go over it in every video because it's irrelevant now and I want to let go of the past and everything. Anyways, in today's video, we are going to be doing a ranking and a tier list of all the horror movies. I thought, what better not way to kind of do my comeback harder than ever and do a re-ranking of all my horror movies. If you're a horror fan, you know that like your rankings change all the time. So pretty sure to like my last video that I posted super long time ago, my top 10 horror movies, pretty sure it's gonna change. Everything changes, doesn't matter. I have a different taste like every now and then. Sometimes I love to watch Scream 24/7, but then sometimes I really want something like Hereditary. So little, you know, I'm here and there all the time. So anyways, without further ado, let's get right into today's ranking. Okay, so we are gonna start off with kind of labeling our tiers. Top tier, I'm going to call this tier.
What's your favorite scary movie?
What's your favorite scary movie? Because reference to Scream, one of the best horror movies in my opinion. Duh. You know, what's your favorite scary movie? Kind of, what's your favorite scary movie? And these are going to be the favorite scary movies, kind of pretty self-explanatory. You don't really need to go into too much detail. Well, the second tier is going to be called Stop! I could have dropped my croissant!
Stop! I could have dropped my croissant!
If you don't know that meme, baby. Anyways, basically what that means is kind of like, whoa, you know, you almost spooked me. My popcorn almost fell out of my bucket. You know what I mean? Like type thing. So these are still like really good horror movies. Just ones that I probably only watch like once, twice a year. But they're still like all the way up there. Just not my favorite. Third tier is going to be I Thought You Were American.
I'm lesbian.
I thought you were American.
This one is basically like the ones that I was kind of thinking it was a different movie, kind of was going in with different expectations, and it ended up being something totally different. Still wasn't a bad movie, but it kind of threw me off the loop in a way, and I was just kind of like, oh, I thought I was expecting something else, but hey, this will do. These are also movies that like I probably watch maybe once every like 2 years. Like these are movies that I probably don't, if I were to go to a Blockbuster and you were to tell me to a Blockbuster, what the fuck, okay, if you were to tell me to go choose out 10 movies, these are movies that I most definitely would not choose out of the pile. So for my fourth tier is going to be Adam. Adam. These are movies that I'm like, not for me. These are movies that I'm not picking at all. These are movies that probably my friends like. This is probably the genre that I don't like, which is probably gonna be a lot of like Exorcist movies, because I don't really like Exorcist movies. Besides The Exorcist, obviously. Just movies, again, genres that I don't really like, genres that I don't want to watch, things that don't intrigue me. These are movies that really don't intrigue me. The storyline doesn't intrigue me, or I've watched it and I hate it. Yeah, kind of movies like that. For my fifth tier, I'm going to put, no, Megan, I can't sit anywhere. I have hemorrhoids.
You can't sit with us. Actually, Megan, I can't sit anywhere. I have hemorrhoids.
That one's a pretty good one. That one's a pretty good one. These are movies that I fucking hate. Like, fucking hate. Like, despise. These are probably movies also that, like, use mental illness or use rape for a storyline, which I personally do not like. So a lot of those movies will probably fall into this category. But again, just movies that I fucking hate. Movies that I don't fucking like. And I'm sorry if one of your favorite movies land in that place, but this is my tier list and I don't give a fuck what you say. Anyways, hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids.
Okay, so starting off with one of the scariest movies in my opinion. This is Exorcist, and The Exorcist I'm going to put in stop, you could have made me drop my croissant, because I just don't like Exorcist movies, and honestly, this movie is a little bit too long. Like, the whole beginning part doesn't make sense to me, and I've seen this movie a couple of times, but it just, it doesn't, like, intrigue me a lot. I will say, though, since The Exorcist Believer is coming out, I am a little bit more excited. That movie looks a little bit more updated and new, a little bit more of my flair. And it kind of is resembling a lot of the original Exorcist, so that's why I'm kind of leaning into The Exorcist a little bit more. And as you can see, I actually do have some Exorcist stuff right here, so I am a fan of it. It's just I'm not a huge big fan. I did not buy this, my dad bought it. And it was his and he gave it to me. So anyways, moving on. The Fly. Hemorrhoids. I've never seen The Fly, but I have seen a lot of YouTube videos on it, and I know it turns out to be like a lot of like this disgusting like fly thing, but don't want to watch it. The Thing. Oh my god. Okay, what's your favorite scary movie? I'm sorry, but I love The Thing. My dad put me on The Thing. Like, that movie fucking hits. And I really like that it's like a mystery on trying to solve like who is the alien. Like, I already love scary movies, so like a mystery murder thing to me is like A+. So this kind of really dabbles into that, and that's why I kind of like it. Not even kind of, I really like it. I have like a doll of McCready all the way up there. You guys can't see it, but I also have The Thing on VHS, so I'm trying to hurry up with this, but oh my god, I can't stop talking about it. Silent Night, Deadly Night. I have hemorrhoids because I have not seen. I have obviously seen a lot of YouTube videos on it, and I know it's famous for the garbage day meme, but don't really want to watch it. Resident Evil. Hemorrhoids. Yes, I have never seen a Resident Evil movie. Have I played the games? Indeed, I have played the games, but I have never ever watched one of the movies. Candyman. This poster is the one for the prequel, sequel, whatever you want to call it, and I did not like that one. But if we are talking about just the old Candyman, I'm gonna say I Thought You Were American, because I'm not too much of a fan of the story, and I know it kind of goes like off the rails. I do like the ending of the first one, how Helen becomes like, it like kind of like flips in a way. I do like that, but other than that, it's never really like stuck with me, and it's never been a huge favorite of mine. I do have him, Tony Todd, right there, but that's about it. Human Centipede. Okay, this one is gross. I remember being like maybe like 13, 14 and being just scrolling through Netflix and seeing this movie and watching it for the first time. Yeah, that was disgusting. The second one, I don't even want to get into stuff like that. I think this one honestly should just go into I have hemorrhoids just because of that, because of how disgusting it is. But I will give it props for the first movie, because the first movie is really good. Like, it actually is pretty terrifying. So I'm gonna put it in Adam. I think that's a good place for it. Friday the 13th. Oh my god. I don't even really need to discuss on this. Friday the 13th is one of the best ones. Started the whole entire camp frenzy, camp horror movies. Love those type of movies. I don't need to discuss it. Friday the 13th is one of my favorite horror movies ever. So, done. Lake Placid. I have never seen Lake Placid. I know, but I know it's about an alligator. But maybe I'll watch. Maybe I'll do a reaction video to it, because it does seem kind of intriguing. But later on. Same with Open Water. What's up with these fucking water movies? Never seen Open Water. I don't even know what the fuck this one's about. Do I have an interest in watching it? No. Scanners. I have heard of this one, but I've never watched it. Evil Dead. Oh my god. Evil Dead is going straight. I think, okay, I'm gonna start placing them also like which one goes on top. Evil Dead is going above The Thing, and Friday the 13th is also going above The Thing. Evil Dead is top tier. Oh my god. That started the cabin in the woods, you know, like the friends going on a trip, like possession, a bunch of stuff like that. Like this franchise goes off the rails, and the 2013 remake is one of my favorite remakes ever to be made. So this has props for that. And also Evil Dead Rise was a-okay. I loved it. Terror Tunes, never seen. Scary movie. Okay, is this really even considered a horror movie? I mean, nonetheless, I am gonna put it in stop. You couldn't make me drop my croissant, because Scary Movie is absolutely hilarious. I will say that like number 5 it's kind of stupid. I don't like number 5. Number 3 is kind of weird. So I will say some of them are like really dumb, and I mean, I know that that's the point, but sometimes like I do need a little bit of like something that I like, I guess, in a way. Like sometimes I don't really go to watch a scary movie, but I will watch it once a year. I have to watch at least a scary movie once a year because they're alright. Wishmaster. I have never seen the Wishmaster. I know. And you guys are gonna kill me on this one, but I've never seen The Lost Boys. I know. I will do a reaction video to it. I will sooner or later. Don't worry. We're gonna get a lot of these ones that I haven't seen out of the way, because there's a kind of a lot I haven't seen. So we're gonna do that. So Ginger Snaps, I have not seen. Feast, I have not seen. Phantasm, I have not seen. Beware the Blob, I have seen. The Hitcher, have not seen. Shake, Rattle, Roll, have not seen. My gosh, guys, there's a lot more horror movies. I thought that is insane. Okay, Bunny Man, I've never seen. Evil Bong, oh my god, what are these horror movies? Alien vs. Predator, I've never seen. See guys, yeah, there's a lot of horror movies I haven't seen, so I'm gonna have to do a lot of like reaction videos, because I cannot believe this. Sharktopus, okay, see, like, but that's something I'm not doing a review on. No. Okay, so I had to go through a lot of these movies. Everything you're looking at right now, I have not seen. I didn't need to add that in the video because I would have skipped it if I were you. So, yeah, these are movies that I just haven't seen. These are probably some of these movies I will probably do reaction videos in the future, but as of right now, have seen none of them. Okay, none. Anyways, let's move on. So, next movie, I Spit on Your Grave. See, I Spit on Your Grave is gonna go to I Have Hemorrhoids, just because that is a fucking disgusting movie. Oh my god, that movie, again, it's such an exploitation. Like, I don't like movies like that. I don't like movies of that genre. Like, what is that movie? House at the End of the Street, or not House at the End of the Street, Last House on the Left, like that one too. And I know that they're, you know, by Wes Craven and stuff, which is obviously one of my favorite directors. But damn, these movies are just, I have Spit on Your Grave. I Spit on Your Grave, the original one on VHS, and I have seen it before. Again, I probably won't watch it ever again. On Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street is going to go above The Thing, and it is going to go into what's your favorite scary movie, because Freddy scared the fuck out of me as a kid. I remember being a kid, and one time my parents, they were mad at me for something. I was doing something dumb, I don't know. And they left me in my room, and they shut the lights off, and I thought Freddy Krueger was gonna come and get me. It was the most scariest thing. I remember I was crying my eyes out. And to this day, anytime that I go use the restroom, or anytime that I'm in the restroom, I have to open the shower curtain, because I always thought Freddy Krueger was behind it. That is a true story. Alien. So actually, I watched this movie for the first time, like, I want to say like last year, and I'm gonna put it in I Thought You Were American. I know. Go ahead, give it to me. Just give it to me. I'm sorry. Alien is just not one of my favorite horror movies. It is a good horror movie indeed. It's just not a horror movie that I would pick to watch or pick to show someone. But if you're into that, like, hey, you're into that. Personally, I'm just not into anything that has to do with space. And I don't like alien movies. So sorry, but it is a good movie. It still is 100% a good movie. Beware of the Blob. So I remember watching this one in like middle school, I want to say, and it was with my dad, or I want to say I watched it in elementary school, but I remember being pretty terrified of this movie. And I know I think Shawnee Smith is in it. I think this is the right one. But yeah, it scared the living out of me. I was literally terrified. I remember just seeing a pink ball, pink goo, like going around the town, and it ate that little boy. I remember. I think that's the part that scared me the most, because I was like, it eats kids. Next is The Omen. This one I'm also gonna put in I Thought You Were American, because I never really watched this one. I've probably only seen it like in my whole entire lifetime, like maybe like 2 times. And it's just something that I don't really like go back to. Again, something that I wouldn't show my friends. But it's pretty cool. Cloverfield. Oh my god. Stop. You could have made me drop my croissant. I remember watching this movie as a little kid. I was like 7 maybe. And I thought that this shit was real. I thought that this movie was fucking real. The funny thing too is I remember watching this movie with my uncle, and I couldn't find it for the most longest time whenever I really started getting into horror. And one day I found it, and I was like, this was the movie that scared the living shit out of me. So for that, it is gonna go into Stop. You could have made me drop my croissant. Children of the Corn. I'm gonna put this one in Adam. I don't fucking like Children of the Corn. And I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't like the story. I don't like anything about it. I've seen, I think, Children of the Corn Revelations too. I don't like any of it. It is not for me. Creepshow. Oh my god. Okay, I know exactly where this is going. Creepshow is gonna go all the way at the top, but at the bottom of what's your favorite scary movie? Because I remember watching Creepshow and being so terrified of the raft. And I know that's everyone's favorite also, but I remember being so scared of that black goo. Something about goo. Fucking horror movies and goo. I don't know. But that black goo going through like, oh my god, the like little balcony thing that they're on. I don't even know what the fuck it's called. But that shit scared the fuck out of me as a kid. That was a scary ass fucking thing that they did. I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm gonna put I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Thought You Were American, because I do like the second one, actually. The second one, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, is one of my favorite movies, actually. I can say that that one is really good. I also do have the physical media of this one. So I will say it is a really good franchise, I guess, if you want to call it, because they do have the third one, which I've never seen, but I've heard. I don't need to. It has Daphne and it has Freddy from Scooby-Doo. Okay, that's why I really, really like this movie. Hostel. So I'm gonna put Hostel and Stop. You could have made me drop my croissant. Because I actually really do like the Hostel franchise. Surprisingly, because I don't really like, you know, again, that whole exploitation and stuff. But this one's actually really good. I remember watching the first one for the first time not too long ago, and it was like hands down like one of the craziest movies I've ever seen. The second one is one of my favorites, and then I've also seen the third one, so it's not too bad of a franchise. It's not a franchise that's totally for me, but if I ever wanted to kind of show a friend and a friend was like, show me like a nasty movie or show me a movie like Saw, then I would pull out this. Cabin Fever. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, this one's going in Adam, just because that movie's fucking disgusting. I cannot watch that movie. Like, that movie's too gross. And then especially the second one. What were they doing? What were they thinking? Like, and why was I watching that in middle school? Like, that was such a gross ass movie. Like, Final Destination. It's gonna go above the theme. It's in my favorite scary movie. I don't think that that's like surprising. I love Final Destination. I cannot wait for the 6th one to come out. I remember watching the 5th one in theaters and begging. I was like 14 years old. I begged my parents to go watch that movie, and we went to go watch it in 3D. Oh my god, I wish I could relive that experience all over again, because that was one of the best movie experiences I've ever had. Halloween. Halloween for me is gonna go into 3rd place, but still, obviously, what's your favorite scary movie? I've always been a fan of Halloween. I have to watch Halloween around Halloween time. Like, whenever I just hear the theme song, whenever I hear the score, oh my god, it just gets me in my Halloween vibe. I think the thing is, though, is with these horror movies, at least Halloween ones, I really do have to watch them around Halloween time. It kind of feels weird for me to watch them around any different time. I can't push myself to, but that makes it even better for whenever Halloween time does come around, because yeah, this movie is just a classic horror movie I will forever and always love. Hellraiser. I don't like Hellraiser. I truly don't, and it's gonna go actually all the way at the bottom, because a lot of people had hyped it up for me. A lot of people are just saying, you know, like, it is a pretty good franchise. I've only seen the 1st one, tried to watch the 2nd one, couldn't get into it. The reboot was alright. It was pretty good. But it's just not a franchise for me. I don't like it. There's nothing that intrigues me about it. The characters don't intrigue me. The killer Pinhead doesn't really intrigue me. So it's gonna go on the bottom for me. The Hills Have Eyes. So this is another one of those kind of like exploitation movies. But this does it in a way, not too bad of a way. I mean, if you do skip over that one scene, I think we all know what scene I'm talking about. You know, if you skip over that one scene, there's not too many other bad scenes about it. So for that, I will put it, and I Thought You Were American, but I am going to put it at the end because of that scene. Child's Play. So we're talking about the original Child's Play. This one's gonna go at the bottom of the what's your favorite scary movie category, because he is an icon, he is a legend, but he is not my favorite. I don't really ever see myself going back to a Child's Play movie. Do you see me going back to a Chucky movie? Yes. Like Bride of Chucky. If Bride of Chucky was on here instead of Child's Play, probably would have ranked it a little bit higher on this category, at least. But since we're talking about Child's Play and the original, those movies don't really intrigue me, especially that 3rd one, the army one. I hated that one. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I fucking hated that one. Insidious. So again, I'm kind of doing like the whole entire franchise with some of these movies, and this whole entire franchise is really fucking good. Like, for this being 2010, you know, starting in 2010 franchise, it is insane. This goes fucking balls to the motherfucking wall. I would say my favorite one is honestly probably the 3rd one, which is surprising because I remember back then whenever the 3rd one came out, it wasn't my favorite. But on a recent rewatch, I enjoyed it so much. I will say that I am going to be putting it at the bottom of this category of the Stop You Could've Made Me Drop My Croissant, because the red door fucking sucked and I hated that, and that's for a whole other video. Jaws. I was never a fan of Jaws. Is that bad to say? Is it good? Yes. Did I go on the ride at Universal Studios whenever I was a kid and was like fucking scared? Yes. But the movie itself, it kind of goes back to one of the other movies. I've probably only seen this movie my whole entire lifetime like 2 times. I've never even bothered to watch the sequels, so that kind of tells you something about it. But it still is super, super memorable, and for that, I do have to put in a Stop You Could've Made Me Drop My Croissant. Jeepers Creepers. Okay, so this one is fucking terrifying. I'm gonna put this one above Candyman because Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2 are fucking insane. I love the second one. I think the second one, I remember watching it whenever I was already starting to go into high school and whenever I was already in middle school. So I really was more intrigued into that whole school bus theme, the kids, the high schoolers, the teens, you know, the traveling for a basketball game, football game, or whatever it is. I really enjoyed that. Anything after that, I'm just gonna, for this franchise at least, I'm gonna fucking take out anything that is after the first and second one, because if I'm counting the ones that just came out, this would be, and I have hemorrhoids, because 3 and 4 Reborn and whatever I don't even remember what they're called. It was a bad Jeepers Creepers movie. Just what, if you're gonna watch a Jeepers Creepers movie, first and second one, those are the only two you need to watch. Wrong Turn. You guys are gonna like be pretty surprised with this, because I hated that like exploitation stuff. But this is gonna go above this is gonna go below Final Destination. But it is gonna go in What's Your Favorite Scary Movie, because Wrong Turn, you guys. Me and Wrong Turn go way back, okay? I remember watching Wrong Turn 4 for the first time, which is kind of funny because Wrong Turn 4 is like where it all started. So I remember watching fucking Wrong Turn 4 for the first time, and it was on a sci-fi channel, and I was just chilling watching it, and I was like, this is a really good movie, I'm really liking this. And the ending comes, and the snowmobile, and oh my god, you guys, the way my heart left my body when I was watching that, I was not expecting that. I thought that they were gonna get out, and then insane, best ending that I've ever fucking seen. Like, that ending fucking shivered to me timbers. I was scared shitless with that fucking movie. Any of the other ones I really do like. 5 and 6, those are probably the only two that I really despise. Even the reboot, I actually really do love the fucking reboot, because the reboot goes way different from what the original was, and for a reboot, you kind of need to do that. So I appreciate that. The Ring, I've only seen The Ring, I think, one time, and it is gonna go on the bottom of I Thought You Were American, because it's just not my favorite horror movies. I really liked the kind of blue color palette of it, and how it was like really rainy all the time. But other than that, it doesn't really intrigue me at all. So, Carrie, they're all gonna laugh at you. Carrie is gonna go above Scary Movie, because Carrie is iconic. She is not a villain. She gave those people what they deserved. Okay, thank you very much. There's not really else much to say about Carrie. That movie is pretty insane. I will say that the remake did come out whenever I was barely starting to really get into my horror knowledge. So I enjoyed the remake, but I understand why people hate it a lot, because it didn't really give anything new. And honestly, for a story like this being set in 2013, there's so much more you could have done with it. Night of the Living Dead. I'm gonna put this one at the bottom of What's Your Favorite Scary Movie, just because the ending really does always kind of make me sad. How they shoot Ben. He did not deserve that. My homeboy did not deserve that. He did not deserve that. I'm so sorry. Paranormal Activity. Okay, this is a good one. So this one I am going to put at... Shit. This is a hard one. I'm gonna put at the end of What's Your Favorite Scary Movie, because if Blair Witch comes up, I want to have a spot for that one. Paranormal Activity also scared the fuck out of me as a kid. Oh my god. I remember watching this one on Redbox, you guys. Redbox. Yes, I go that back. That first one really scared me. And honestly, I really do like the story of Katie and Christy. If you don't know the story, please just do your research, because honestly, it's a really good story. Even the reboot, Next of Kin, I loved. I'm sorry if you hated it, but I loved it. My tier list. So right now what I'm trying to do is I'm honestly just trying to really hurry up the time, and I'm only going to be doing now like really popular horror movies. So if you see horror movies that are like Leprechaun, Sharknado, Cube, Puppet Master, anything like that, and I have hemorrhoids, I'm only putting it that there because I don't have the time or the energy to read those. Alright, so Poltergeist. Poltergeist is a really also good franchise. Where I would rank it, eesh. This is starting to get really hard, guys. Oh my god, I did not expect this to get super hard. I'm gonna put this and stop. You could maybe drop my croissant, and I'm gonna put it above Scary Movie. I think the thing that scares me the most about Poltergeist is kind of the stuff that happened behind the scenes, how the little girl passed away and the sister passed away. That is just kind of a really fucked up, like, behind the scenes story. So for that, it is also going to be kind of pushed a little bit higher. And also the way that they used real skeletons in that scene where the mom is like trying to find her son or whoever it is. The Purge. Okay, The Purge is a crazy ass idea for a horror movie. I will give it that. That is probably one of the most like modern things that you could do for like a horror movie, I will say. And for that, I'm gonna put at the top of Stop You Could've Made Me Drop My Croissant. I do think it's a little bit better than The Exorcist, just because things like this is something that I do pertain to. I love the whole entire Purge franchise. I think the only one that kind of throws me in for a loop is the last one that just came out. I can't even see exactly. I can't even remember what the fuck it's called because I don't really like it. So Psycho. So Psycho is going to go, and I have hemorrhoids. No, I'm just kidding. Psycho, I am going to put above The Purge because Psycho started it all. If you are not a horror fan and you have not seen Psycho, I don't think you consider yourself a horror fan. And I actually have seen, I don't think I've seen the second one or the third one, but I have seen the fourth one, which I know is kind of weird, kind of odd. But yeah, Psycho started the, you know, whole entire thing, and the shower, you know, girl being in the shower. I think it also really started, it gave Scream the idea of killing. My phone literally died. So we're gonna go through these next movies really fast. Wreck, I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna put below Psycho. Saw, I'm going to put in the last section of what's your favorite scary movie. Scream. Come on, it's literally it's my favorite horror movie. It is going to go on top and above The Evil Dead, okay? Texas Chainsaw Massacre, this one is, again, another one of my all-time favorites. I get so freaked out anytime I really watch this one just because it's so unnerving. Blair Witch, this one was the one that I was waiting for because I do want to put this one in here instead, and I am going to move Paranormal Activity below. Just because Blair Witch did start the whole entire found footage genre, basically. I wouldn't say it started it, because there is the Cannibal Holocaust also, but we also don't talk about that one. So we're gonna count this one as the first one, and it is by far one of my favorite horror movies, and I do really like, if you guys don't know kind of like the story behind it on how they made the Blair Witch, it is actually really super awesome, and the actors were basically improvising the whole entire movie, so I love that. Hatchet, I am glad this movie is on here because Hatchet is one of my favorite movies. If you have not seen Hatchet, please go and watch it. It is definitely an underrated horror movie for sure. But I remember watching this movie for the first time whenever I was really young and my dad left me and I was watching this movie all by myself, and I have always been scared of Victor Crowley ever since. I've had nightmares about him. He scares the living shit out of me. He was probably, I think, out of all of the monster characters and all of the horror icons, Victor Crowley is the scariest, hands down. So we're going to be counting the original, and we're also going to be counting the remakes of it, and this is going to go, I think, I'm sorry, Psycho, but this is going to go above Psycho because it is a really good movie, especially the reboot. I think that this is probably an unpopular opinion, but the reboot is by far way better than the original. I'm going to say now, if we're going on clowns, I do prefer Tim Curry's a lot more, but I think Bill Skarsgård does a great job being Pennywise. It's by far probably one of the best horror remakes, even I think above the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Honestly, I do think that this is really good remake. VHS, oh my god, I know exactly what it is. this is gonna go right below Hatchet. I love VHS. Oh my god. I love anthology movies. Anthology movies are one of my favorite movies, like Trick or Treat. I love Trick or Treat. So VHS is right up my alley. I loved the last one. Last one was, oh my god, one of my favorites. And I cannot wait for VHS 85 to come out. I heard it is supposed to be coming out this year, so fingers crossed. I haven't heard really anything about it, but there are directors and writers already attached to the project, so it's happening. But anyways, VHS is an absolute crazy ass franchise. I remember showing my best friend these movies for the first time, and she literally was like, dude, this is on a whole other level. Like, what are you showing me? The Conjuring. This one is gonna go above it. I love The Conjuring. I actually really like the first and the second one. Really good freaking movies. Oh my god. Like, I think probably one of my favorite ghost stories. And I'm not like a ghost person. I don't like ghost stories. I don't like ghost movies, or anything like possession really. They're not like my favorite, I guess. But this one, hands down, the original, or well, I mean the first one, really good. Right, next is going to be Piranha. I've never seen the original Piranha, but I have seen the remake, and you know, all of its double D. I'm gonna put that one at the bottom of stuff. You could have made me drop my croissant. The Descent. Oh my god. I remember watching this movie for the first time, and it scared the living shit out of me. I was gonna put this in stop. You could have made me drop my croissant, but I'm gonna put it in what's your favorite scary movie at the end of it, because it's a really good movie. I love an all-female cast, and all of these females do an amazing job at acting. I think every single one of them deliver what they need to do. The scares are there, the ending's there, the story's there, the opening is there, like everything is there to this movie. If you have not seen The Descent, you need to like stop this video now and go watch it, because it's a really good movie. Happy Death Day. Okay, this is one of my like comfort horror movies, so I am gonna put this one in what's your favorite scary movie, but at the bottom of it, because I sometimes can get a little bit of annoyed with it, and I think a lot of other people can as well. Sinister. I remember watching this movie also for the first time. I don't know how I really feel about it. It's super scary. The second one sucked ass, and the story's really good. Yeah, I think everything is kind of all there. It's almost like The Descent, but something about it just isn't too intriguing for me. I don't know, there's something about it, something about the Sinister, like I don't find myself always going back to watch. For that, I think I'm gonna put it at the end of Stop. You could have maybe dropped my croissant. The Strangers. Oh my god. Okay, I love like home invasion movies. I think they scared the living shit out of me. But I remember watching this one with my cousins. With my two other cousins, we were home alone and we were watching this movie, and that was probably one of the worst ideas ever. So yeah, definitely have to watch this movie in the right setting. And again, the age that I watched this, it's just kind of really nostalgic for me. And Pray at Night is really good. I think it's an underrated sequel. I don't hear a lot of people talking about that one, and it's really good. But I am gonna put this one, I think, above The Descent and Happy Death Day, because it's one of my favorites. I do have it also on my physical media. I have it on DVD. Pet Cemetery. I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen Pet Cemetery. Actually, I have, but I don't really remember it. And I think for that, I'm gonna put it top of Adam. But okay, actually I changed my mind. I'll put it at the bottom. No, I'll put it above The Hills Have Eyes. And I Thought You Were American, because I do think that the opening of this movie with the little boy getting hit by the bus is probably one of the most iconic horror scenes, I guess, if you will. Like, if we're talking about like iconic horror scenes, you know, like Casey Becker, Drew Barrymore, Pet Cemetery, and like the opening of this, I think that that's a horror scene that you really talk about. So for that, I do think it deserves a little bit of a higher spot than I was gonna put it. Black Christmas. Oh my god. Okay, this one, you guys are probably gonna get mad at me, but I don't care. This one is going in what's your favorite scary movie, and I think it's gonna go above a lot of these movies. Yeah, it's gonna go right there. I love this fucking movie, and I love the remake. Okay, but I don't like the 2018 one. We don't talk about the 2018 one. No, we don't talk about that. We're talking about the 2006 one with Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Crystal Lowe, with freaking all of our girls, all of our awesome cast. That cast is literally hands down amazing. It literally has Gretchen. Oh my god, I remember watching that for the first time, and I was like, Gretchen is literally in this horror movie. And seeing Lacey Chabert in a horror movie is honestly pretty iconic, and the characters that they're all playing really fits like them and their personality, I feel like. But hands down, I love this horror movie. I have to watch it every single Christmas. I remember getting this movie on Christmas Day whenever I was like 14. So, all right, we're running down to our last few. So, 47 meters down. This one is again with the fucking water. I don't know. Water is weird in a horror movie, okay? I don't like water. So sometimes they can scare me, but it's the way that they execute it that sometimes it's just like pretty shitty. And I actually really do like Uncaged. Uncaged is a little bit better than the original. Maybe. Just because the original does have really good things. But I just like a bigger cast, and I like a lot more of a body count. So I think for that reason, I'm gonna put 47 meters below The Purge. The Shining, I am going to put all the way above The Conjuring and Slappy Kid and Maybe John Restaurant. House of a Thousand Corpses, I am going to put all the way actually at the top, because House of a Thousand Corpses is one of my favorite movies. I'm gonna put that one at the bottom of it though, because a little bit of that exploitation, you know what I mean? But other than that, those are the last two. That is my ranking. I did it. Woo! Whoa. I hope you guys enjoyed my ranking. It was a long one, so I hope you got through that video. I want to be reviewing or reacting, I want to be reacting to a few horror movies, so I'm gonna go through some of these that I have not seen, and hopefully in my next video I will be reacting to it. I know one big one that I really want to react to is Jawbreaker with Rose McGowan. So that is one that it's on my list next to kind of react to, but other than that, I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.